I'd like to dedicate this video to my dad. He has been a big inspiration to me, and he lives down in Tennessee, and as you will probably hear a little bit in this video, we just made a trip down there to brighten his day, and he was elated to see us, and it was exciting to see his face light up when we knocked on the door. So Dad, I love you, and I hope you enjoy this video. Hey guys, Patriot Picker here. My name is Chris. We're down in the eBay bunker, and we're getting ready to do a little video on what's sold. A little bit of an update on myself. We are heading into the month of June now, and May's totals and updates will probably be given on the next video. I've got to look into it and get all the numbers right. So we'll be providing that information to you. May was obviously a much slower month for many of us part-time resellers. Compared it to April. April was just incredible, as everyone knows. And if you're having great sales in the month of May, congratulations to you. We have been pretty consistent in the month of May. I think we only missed one day where we had no sales. So it's picking back up again, though, I can tell. Interesting note, we just recently went on a little small weekend trip down to Tennessee to see my father. And while we were there, I put the eBay store on vacation mode and expected not a lot of traffic. Believe it or not, even in vacation mode, we still were getting sales and inquiries through email. And then once we got back, we took it off, and a couple more sales came in immediately. So just because you put it on vacation mode, and by the way, if you don't know how to do that, you're going to go up to my eBay, and you're going to go down to messages, and then there's a place over in that area where you can turn on vacation mode when you leave, if you have a store. This doesn't work if you don't have a store. So anyway, let's get to what's sold. So we're going to start off, many of you have seen the South Carolina trip sourcing trip videos. We've got a couple more of those that we're going to be putting out pretty soon. You don't want to miss this next one. Really excited about the next part 3 to South Carolina. It's going to be pretty interesting. We bought a lot of hats, as you remember. And so a couple of those have sold from that lot. And the first one up was this retro Chicago Bulls hat. I thought that it would go a lot faster, but it did go eventually. And it has this gold rim underneath the bib. And so that was just really, really cool hat. And that sold for $24.99. And again, we picked up about 20-something hats from that one Goodwill down in South Carolina. So a really good return on investment for hats. Another hat that did sell as well from that one was this New York Yankees New Era wool cap, 59.50, 7 3/8 size, and still had the little sticker on the underside there. Pretty good shape. And that one sold for $16.99 plus shipping. All right, this next item, I actually acquired this off of Facebook Marketplace probably a good couple of months ago. I was combing through Marketplace looking for some things, and found a lady who was at the beginning of the quarantine was just selling stuff, and she was putting it out on her porch and letting people come by and pick it up, and you left the money in the envelope. It was pretty interesting. But did find this Andy Griffith Show trivia game, and I think I got this for like $5, and this turned around for $24.99 plus shipping. All right, now prior to heading down to Tennessee to see my dad, my sister got a hold of me and asked me about an item in my store. She has a friend that wanted one of the items, and instead of purchasing the item through eBay, since we were headed down there, we would just take them off the store and take them down and do the sale one-on-one. Well, we ended up having to come back earlier than expected, and we didn't get a chance to drop these off. And so what I'm going to do is just mail these back to my sister, and then she's going to Venmo me the money for them. But anyway, it's these old Rook cards from, I believe, 1959, I believe, is when these came out, this particular set. And so that's a really good sale. Do believe that these sold for $12.99. All right, next up is an item that we had acquired through one of our Goodwills. Went in one day and found several different themes of this same item. Knew right away that this would be something that would flip. This is a Disney Parks popcorn container with a winter theme on it. And they were all in really good, clean shape. And if you don't know much about these, the actual company that makes these is Whirly Drink Works. So if you ever see these in your Goodwill, do not overlook them. They will sell. You wouldn't think that something that had been used like this with popcorn in it, and all, they'd just throw it away after they were done because it's dirty, But when I opened it up and looked at how clean it was, I just was like, you can't even tell that's ever been used. So I'm going to always pick up something like this. This is going out the door for $7.99, and I paid like 99 cents for each of them. All right, another couple of items that we acquired through Goodwill are going to be these Mr. and Mrs. mugs. Cool thing about these is that in the bottoms, they have hearts. And then on the sides right here, they have a Bible verse, and they're both the same color inside. And these are put out by Dayspring. And so, pretty good set there. And those are going out the door for $12.99. And I think we probably paid $1 for each one. All right, another item that I acquired again through Goodwill thrift store. Found two of these one day going through one of our local stores. Is this Callaway Golf driver head cover with the paisley design. This is the number 3 with the stretch sock on it. And both of them were in really good condition. I got a number 3 and a number 1, I think. And the buyer bought the number 3 version. And this is going out the door for $9.99. And I think I paid probably $1.99 for both of them, maybe, or maybe cheaper. I hardly ever can remember what I actually paid for these things. I write it down, but when I do my videos, I don't always go back and look at the original price. Probably should do that, huh? All right, so next up is this Risk board game. And this one is I'm looking for a date. Bear with me just a second. This is a 1998 version of the game. So sort of vintage. And it's going out the door for $12.99 plus shipping. We are in the process of trying to part with a lot of our inventory. And I'm probably going to run another sale on quite a few items just to try to liquidate and get down to some space, because we're running out of space, and I don't want to be just going out buying shelf after shelf after shelf, trying to load my eBay bunker up with more and more shelving unit. So I'm trying to get rid of what we've got and then replace it with some newer stuff. So that's kind of where we're at right now on that. Last up on the list, though, is, I always save the best for last, right? Is the Winslow series books. Did you guys see that posting on my Instagram? If you don't know what my Instagram is, it's Patriot Picker 76. We were able to find the House of Winslow books in one of the South Carolina sourcing trip down there. We found them at one of the Goodwill stores, and we found all 30 volumes of this series, and all in really good shape. They sold for $99.99, guys. That was just blew my mind. I couldn't believe. Now, we did pay up in regards to books, I think. $2 for hardcovers at Goodwill, $1 for soft covers. These are soft covers, so we paid $30. They wouldn't give them to us for any cheaper. I did ask and try to wheel and deal with those guys, and they wouldn't do it. But we paid about $30, and then we sold them for $99.99. So that's still a pretty good turnaround. What I want to do right now to conclude, several people ask questions on my channel quite a bit, and one of the questions that was asked a while back I want to address right now on this video is, and I actually got this question through an email as well from a viewer, not just on the channel, but anyway, they ask a question about what can you do to help increase your feedback when you're a new reseller. Now, I know there's a few things that you can do that are a high percentage, and I would say a high percentage would be like 75%, that work, okay? And then there's some things out there that we all just kind of do in hopes that it works, all right? And it works for us, but just because I tell you you ought to do it doesn't mean it's always going to work for you, all right? But what are some things we know that have a high percentage of working in order to increase your feedback? One of my mentors taught me that one way to increase your feedback is to try to load up your store with a lot of different clothing items. As you know, I've been doing some consignment with a couple different people. And in that consignment, it was explained to me that you load your store up with some clothing items. Now, the reason we picked clothing was because it's lightweight, it's easy to pack, it's easy to ship, it doesn't cost a whole lot in shipping. And people buy the item, and then it gives you a chance. Every time somebody buys something, it gives you a chance to gives them a chance to leave some feedback and increase your rating. So that's one thing that can be an idea. I want to share with you something that I do. My wife and I've shared this with some other new resellers before. My wife and I decided that when we sold an item, we were going to include something in each of our packages. This is what we include. It's a picture, a little logo avatar of Fred and Charlie, and our store name is Fred and Charlie, by the way, as you probably already know. And we say, thanks for your business. I'm reading this backwards, forgive me. And then it has our store link, and then down here it says positive feedback is the greatest compliment. It's hard to read backwards. You'd think I'd know that. Anyway, we include this, and then what I do is I write a note right in here. So this is personalized. That's one thing I do. And then I always include my card, Patriot Picker, with my email address, and follow us on YouTube. And then on the back, visit our eBay store, Fred and Charlie, again with the link at the bottom. And so there's no proof, guys, that this does anything special. But the real reason I started doing it wasn't trying to get more feedback. The real reason I was trying to do it was to become personalized. I wanted people to feel like that they were dealing with a real person rather than just a business that you don't ever hear from. They don't ever thank you for shopping with them. And so this was my way to just kind of go out on an extra above and beyond as customer service and provide that. And then also it's pointing you back. It's also pointing you to feedback, and it's also pointing you to YouTube. And hopefully some of these guys will subscribe, and I think some of them have over the time that I've been involved. And then they can watch on the video you show the item they bought as a viewer purchase. So that's kind of what I do. One thing, you could do that as well, unless you don't want to include a YouTube channel card, because some of you don't want to be on YouTube, and I totally understand. Speaking of YouTube, I'm really excited to see a couple of different people that were real hesitant about getting on YouTube, and through some encouragement and through conversation, they're now out there and they're, producing content for you now. And again, I want to give a shout out to Red Cardinal Treasure. She is really starting to just grow and blossom, and I can see it in her body language. I can see it on her face. She's excited to get out there. So Marsha, thank you for taking the challenge and stepping out there in the stormy waters and walking on the water with all of us that are part of this family. So again, that is going to conclude the What Sold video. And probably next video will be part 3 of the South Carolina trip. And you don't want to miss that one, by the way, guys. I don't know if you've been paying attention or not. I'm going to say this real quick. Our 500 subscriber contest has been going on ever since we announced it. It is still going on, regardless of the fact that some of my videos, or I kind of backed away from YouTube just a little bit. But that contest is still happening, and we're up to 438, I do believe. And as soon as we hit 500, guys, there's going to be a huge giveaway you don't want to miss. Trust me. So one of the reminders that I want to leave you with here is there were 3 things that you had to do to be able to be entered in the contest. And I've actually saw a number of folks on my channel kind of slide away a little bit, but you've got to come back if you want to be part of this 500 challenge. It is going to require you to like each video. You want to watch it to the very end, okay? And you want to make sure that you're subscribed, and you've got to leave a comment. Those are the things that we're going to go backwards and look at when the time comes for us to choose the winners. We're going to be going back and looking and seeing who's faithfully done those things. I'm not going to give out all the prizes right away yet because we still have a few people to go. But help us to get to 500. And we look forward to seeing who that is. So this is Patriot Picker, and I'm signing out. And again, we'll catch you guys when? That's right, on the flip side.